welcome to Good Grief, the podcast dedicated to demystifying and destigmatizing grief with compassion and humor. I'm Nikki, I'm an end-of-life doula and a grief coach in Columbus, Ohio. And today we are doing our little preview / trailer for season 9. Oh my goodness, season 9 of the podcast, you guys, which I actually only started doing seasons like a year or so ago. So my first 2.5 years or so was just every daggone week, nonstop. It was relentless, which is why I went to seasons, so I could give myself a little bit of a break and have some breathing room. I'm never really on break because I'm kind of always recording, but I at least don't feel so stressed to get an episode out constantly every single week. I can, if I need some wiggle room, I have some wiggle room. But anyway, that's totally beside the point. And right away, you may have noticed a slight change to the music. Totally different music this time around. I've been using royalty-free music this entire show, and out of nowhere, Spotify started dinging me for using copyrighted music, even though it was not copyrighted, and I had permission to use it, but I was tired of fighting fights with AI bots that don't care, so I found some different introductory music. It's a little different, guys. Just bear with me. I'm hoping I can find something a little better or find a great local musician to write something for me at some point. So I'm super excited about season 9. We'll be launching next week next week. If you're listening on Patreon or Substack and you're at a paid level, then you will get to hear it a week early and you'll hear my first episode on the 13th. But if you are listening live on any of the other platforms, that's A-okay. I'm just happy you're here, and you'll hear my first episode next week on the 20th of May. So I will have 2 episodes on the last 2 Wednesdays of May, and then for the month of June, I am going to be focusing on LGBTQ plus community episodes. I've got 4 great interviews recorded already as of the time I'm recording this trailer that I still need to edit and put together, but I'm very excited. I have 4 different people from the LGBTQ plus community with 4 amazing stories of totally different types. So look forward to that. I'm so excited for you to hear those. I've had plenty of people in the LGBTQ plus community on my show in the past, so it's not like it's brand new, but I wanted to specifically focus on this and losses specific to this community for Pride Month. Yay, because June is Pride Month. I'm so excited. As always, you can look forward to hearing a new episode from me every Wednesday. I tend to schedule them to drop at midnight, so if you're awake, good for you. I'm asleep. When you can hear my episode every Wednesday for the next 10 weeks, and then I'll have another 4-week break. If you really enjoy this podcast, you could do me a huge favor and rate and review my show. Give me a 5-star rating and write a little review on Apple Podcasts. That is the best way to get more people to find it, or tell a friend. Tell somebody you like this. I don't get ad revenue. I don't make a dime on this show outside of my Patreon support. So I'm doing this because I love it. I'm passionate about talking about grief, death, and dying because we don't do that. So yeah, if you want to support the show, please do that. If you want to support me a little bit more, you can go to patreon.com/Nikki the Death Doula. You'll get access to this show a week early, and I've got plenty of great bonus content I put out each week, each month, all sorts of great things you can check out if you become a Patreon supporter. And I always like to kind of put in there that the Patreon, all the money I get from Patreon goes to me providing pro bono support. It helps run this podcast too, because there are expenses involved, not just my time, but other expenses involved in running a podcast. And my Patreon supporters help me do that. But I keep my overhead pretty low as best I can. So all the money left over from that goes to me providing pro bono care. I do have a couple clients I see pro bono, and I do other things out in the community to help support people in grief, death, and dying. Also, as I mentioned last season, I have launched a beautiful virtual community for grief. It's called the Good Grief Society, and we have a 24/7 Slack channel where everybody's communicating with each other, helping each other, supporting each other. I host a grief circle once a month. It's kind of like a support group, but support groups feel icky to me sometimes, so we just call it a grief circle. But it's a beautiful time for people to share where they're at, what they're struggling with, what their joys are, and all the weird things that we feel and think during our times of grief. So you can join me over there. I would love to have you. We also have speakers and workshops every other month. We have journaling activities, all sorts of great stuff. If you go to nikkithedeathdoula.com/podcast, there's a link there. It talks a little bit about what the Good Grief Society is and how you can join us. So please, I would love to see you over there. All grief is welcome. It does not have to be death loss, and it doesn't have to be new. You can have suffered a loss 20 years ago and it's still hurting, because it will. Because grief never goes away. All right, that's all. I am so excited for this season. I'm so excited for you guys to hear my interviews coming up, but you'll have to wait till next week. But remember, as always, your grief is yours, your feelings are valid, and grief doesn't always have to suck. Good Grief with Nikki the Death Doula is produced by Nikki Smith of Nikki the Death Doula LLC in Columbus, Ohio. Nikki the Death Doula LLC is for consulting, education, emotional support, and guidance, and is no way considered a funeral establishment or licensed mental health establishment. Scripts, editing, sound design, literally everything with this podcast is done solely by Nikki Smith of Nikki the Death Doula LLC.